Gradient basics. So when you open up your document, there's three different shapes that we see there. We see a cube, we see a circle, and some organic object. They each over here in the layers have their own layer. I'm going to move layers out just so that we don't keep losing it behind properties. I'm going to shrink it so it doesn't take up so much room on our desktop. All right. I'm going to unlock the cube and work with it first, so make sure you do that. Over on the outer edge in the perimeter of the document, you see a yellow circle. That's going to represent our light source. So when we're making gradients, you have to decide where the light is coming from. So for us, the light's coming from the upper left. And so on my cube here, the side that we don't see is getting the most amount of the light. The side to the right over here would be receiving the least amount of light. So this side of my cube is going to be the darkest. This side is receiving some sunlight or light from above, so it's going to be fairly light. And this is going to be more medium because it'll get a little bit from the front, but not as much as the top. So lighter, medium, and dark. So we're going to use some gradients on those three sides. Remember, with the gradient, we click our side or our object, and then we're going to come over here and we're going to click the gradient button just down on the bottom. Let me move this in a little bit further so we can see it. So here is the gradient tab. I'm going to click on that, and it just generically, we know, puts in some sort of black to white gradient in there. I'm going to come over to and choose swatches. So under Windows, I'm coming down to swatches. All right. So here's some base colors I'm just going to work with today. All right. Pull this down a little bit. There we go. I'm going to click and drag. Let's play with some reds. So I'm going to bring red down into that stopper. Now it goes from white to red, which is a bit abrupt. All right. So that means I might, let me deselect, come over here. It's important to deselect. I'm going to go into some red category here and try and pull some sort of a pink that I like. So I like this pink here. Okay. I'm going to save that pink as a new swatch. I don't have to necessarily naming it, but naming it helps at times. And there it is. So now I can click this gradient again, and I'm going to now take this pink and drag it down over here. So this is kind of a medium to dark red, right? I might even bring it over a little bit more. It's getting a little bit of light from over here, right? And it's getting the red. Now I might move the red over a smidge, and I'm going to click to add. See the plus sign? I'm going to add another stop, and I'm going to make this red darker. So I can do one of two things. I could do what I did earlier, which is deselect and make myself a darker red, or I can double click on the stop here and come in under the CMYK, the cyan, magenta, yellow, and black, and I'm going to add some black to that red. Can you see how it's getting darker over here? Because I'm getting darker here and it's getting darker there. All right. Now I might move my little stop around, and there I have somewhat light pink to medium regular red to a little bit of a darker red on this side. I think I'm going to lessen my pink just a little bit more. So we have a little bit more red in our world. So it's getting a little bit of light from the front. All right, good. That's side one. On the top, we want to go light, right? Because it's receiving more light that's happening from the light bulb or the light source. So I'll probably, okay, let's put our gradient in. I'm probably going to drop this, so I'm going to grab that and drag him off. I'm going to come back up here to this, and I'm probably going to have a little bit more, I think we should probably go with a little bit of a lighter pink to this darker pink. Let's see. Let's change that. Let's come over here and make a lighter pink. I was up here before, so let's go a little bit lighter. Okay. I'm going to save it up here. Here's my even lighter pink. Look at that. Okay. Now we're going to go click on this again. I'm going to bring this color down here and this lighter pink over here. Not much of a difference, is there? Let's see if I double click over here. That's not really helping much, is it? Let's try let's get that pink back. Let's see, let's pop just a little bit of red in. Let's bring a little bit of that red in right at the bottom. Oops, it's out of my way. Add one, drag this down. There we go. Now, the direction of this line is completely wrong. So that's when we're going to come up to this tool. This is a gradient tool as well, but it helps tell the gradient which direction it's going to go in. So I'm going to click this, and I'm going to, come on, buddy. I don't want the eyedropper tool anymore. There we go. I'm going to go clicking from this angle here. Almost. Let's see. I'm going to try that again. I'm going to go up a little bit higher. There we go. Now I have this fade with just a little bit of red in it, and it's going from brightest to sort of red. All right. Now we have our third side. It's the darkest. Come back here. It is almost solid. There's really not going to be much of a gradient back here at all because it's in the dark. So I just might even make one. Let's come over here and let's make ourselves, pull this up here. We'll make ourselves a really dark red. Nice. Okay. So now I have the side that's away from us. We have this going toward the light. This is getting a little bit of light. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn off the outline. The reason I had the outline on was so we could see the different sides a little bit clearer as we started. But now we turn those off and we have something that feels a little bit more like a cube, right? As soon as you take outlines off, things become a little bit more realistic and natural. Now I'm going to take and draw myself a square, and I want to make it a gray color. Well, let's start with black. We'll start with black. I'm now going to draw myself a large square, black square here. All right. And I'm going to send this to the back, right? So I'm going to go right click, arrange, whoop, send to the back. All right. Now it's underneath. You see where I'm going here? We're going to make ourselves a shadow. Okay. But we're going to do it with some anchor points. So I'm going to take this guy. Well, actually, let's take this guy over here. I'm going to click on him and highlight him, and I'm going to pull him right there. So it looks like he's coming off from that direction. I'm going to click this one and kind of move it out this way because the light is coming from over here and it's creating a shadow. This line right here is kind of the angle I need my shadow to be in. So this line and this line create the shadow edge over there. Now, obviously, here I have this black object. We're going to come over here to properties. Let me close that out. And there's my opacity. Right now it is 100% opaque, and I want to lessen that so I have the sensation of a shadow on the table or the floor, whatever this might be. All righty. You can always make it richer or darker or less. It's totally up to you. I'm going to kind of do a little bit of that. We'll say 63. All right. So that's phase one with the cube.